The sky above Dracor was dark and full of smoke. Two suns had just set, and strange lights blinked over the alien market. Creatures from many planets walked fast through the streets, trading weapons, tools, and even people. In the middle of this strange planet, one human man walked slowly. His name was Jack Rayner. Jack was not a soldier. He was not rich. He was just a mechanic from Earth, a man who fixed machines and kept to himself. He had no friends here, no family, no power. But still, he had come to this dangerous place for one reason. He was tired of being weak. Jack had heard rumors. Hidden auctions, secret markets, and ancient warriors sold like broken machines. He didn't believe it at first, but now, as he walked deeper into the shadows, he knew it was true. Guards with glowing eyes watched him as he entered a dark metal building. Inside, the air was hot. Loud voices echoed in many languages. Jack's heart beat faster. He had only one golden credit chip in his pocket, the last thing he owned of value. Don't bid unless you want to die, someone whispered behind him. Jack didn't answer. He just stepped closer to the auction ring. Strange cages circled the room. Inside them were beings from across the galaxy. Some cried. Some stared with dead eyes. Others growled like wild animals. Most looked broken, but then he saw her. She wasn't sitting. She wasn't chained like the others. She stood tall, her arms crossed, her eyes burning like fire. Her skin was a deep bronze. Her hair was long, black, and braided with gold wires. She looked like a statue made for war, calm but ready to destroy anyone who got too close. The guard standing near her cage was sweating. His hand shook even while holding a blaster. A voice spoke over the speaker. Item number 47, a female Amazonian warrior from the lost planet Altherian. Genetically enhanced, combat trained, killed 6 guards during capture, sold as is dangerous. People in the crowd laughed. Others moved away. Some offered small bids, but no one really wanted her. She was too dangerous. Jack kept looking at her. Her eyes met his. She didn't blink. Jack stepped forward. I bid 1 golden credit chip, he said. The crowd laughed louder. Some pointed at him. A human? Buying that? He'll be dead in a night. Let him waste his money. No one else bids? The voice asked. Silence. Sold to the Earthman. Take her and leave. The cage opened. The woman stepped out slowly. She didn't run. She didn't attack. She simply walked toward Jack. Like a storm moving in silence, the guard pushed a small controller into Jack's hand. This controls her cuffs. Press the red button if she tries to kill you. Good luck. You'll need it. Jack didn't say anything. He just turned and walked out. She followed, quiet but powerful. They reached his small rented ship. Parked outside the city. Inside, Jack placed the controller on the table. He didn't touch the red button. The woman stood near the wall, arms still crossed. Her metal cuffs blinked with a red light. She didn't speak. Jack poured 2 cups of water. He gave one to her. She didn't take it. I'm not here to hurt you, Jack said softly. No answer. You're free now, or as free as I can let you be. I needed help. Still, no answer. Jack sat down on a bench. My name's Jack, he said. I fix things, that's all I do. Maybe I made a mistake coming here. Maybe I shouldn't have bought you. But something told me, you're not like the others. The woman moved. She walked to him, slow and steady. Jack froze. She leaned down, face inches from his. Then she finally spoke. Her voice was deep, calm, but full of warning. I don't serve men. She leaned closer. I kill them. Jack didn't move. He looked her in the eyes. I believe you, he whispered. Then he handed her the cup of water again. This time she took it. She didn't drink, but she didn't kill him either. Not yet. Jack Rayner didn't sleep that night. He sat on the edge of the cold metal bed, watching the tall alien woman sitting across the room. She hadn't moved for hours. Her bronze skin glowed under the ship's dull lights. Her eyes were sharp like a hunter waiting for the perfect moment. Her name was still unknown. The metal cuffs around her wrists blinked red. A reminder. Dangerous. Unthinkable. Jack held the small controller in his hand. One red button. One press, and the cuffs would send a shock strong enough to stop her heart. That's what the seller told him. He placed the controller on the table. "You can kill me if you want," Jack said quietly. The woman's eyes narrowed. "But I don't think you will," he added. "If you wanted to, you would have done it." "Already?" She said nothing. Instead, she slowly turned her head toward him. Finally, her voice broke the silence. Calm, sharp, like a blade sliding from its sheath. "You're wrong," Jack smiled a little. "I'm wrong a lot." The ship rocked slightly as a sandstorm passed outside. The planet Dracor was full of dust and poison. "No one stayed here long," Jack stood up and walked to the small food console. He pressed a few buttons. A warm cube of protein dropped out. He placed it on a plate and walked over to her. "I don't know what your kind eats," he said, "but this won't kill you, I think." The woman didn't take the food. Jack set it on the floor and stepped back. "My name's Jack," he said. "I fix broken things. Engines, shields, drones, whatever." She looked at the food. Then at him. Still, she said nothing. Outside, the sandstorm got louder. Inside, the silence between them grew thicker. Finally, she spoke again. "You bought me." It wasn't a question. It was a sentence. "A fact." "Yes," Jack replied. "You think you own me?" "No," Jack said. "I think I saved you, or tried to." "Why?" Jack thought for a moment. "Because you looked like you didn't belong in a cage." For the first time, her expression changed. A slight tilt of the head. A flicker of something in her eyes. Confusion? Curiosity? "You are not a warrior," she said. "Not a hunter. Not rich. Why risk your life for me?" "I don't know," Jack answered honestly. "I just saw something in your eyes. Like you still had fight left." Silence again, then softly she said, "My name is Kara." Jack nodded. "Nice to meet you, Kara." She didn't smile. Instead, she stood up. Jack's body tensed. She walked past the food and stopped in front of him. Her height was nearly 2 heads above his. Her muscles were carved like stone. She could kill him in seconds, but she didn't. Kara looked down at the controller on the table. "This controls my cuffs?" "Yes," Jack said. "You trust me enough to leave it here?" "No," he said, smiling weakly. "I just hate being afraid." Kara stared at him for a long time. Then, without warning, she picked up the controller. Jack took a step back. Kara crushed it in her hand. Sparks flew. The red light on her cuffs blinked, then turned off. She was free now. Jack stared, heart racing. Kara turned to him. Her face was unreadable. "You are brave." "Or stupid," she said. "Probably both," Jack replied. Suddenly she threw the crushed metal on the floor and sat down. "I will not kill you tonight," she said. Jack exhaled, half laughing. "Thanks, that's nice to hear." Later that night, Kara sat beside the sleeping ship engine. She had not eaten the food. She simply watched the firelight flickering from the small emergency lamp. Her mind was racing. She remembered battles. Blood, screams, her people, strong, proud warriors, now gone, betrayed. She remembered her sister's face, cold and cruel, selling her into slavery like garbage. Then, this human, Jack. He was not strong. Not smart, at least not in the way her people valued, but he had something rare. He had courage without cruelty. She didn't understand it. Not yet, but she respected it. Jack finally dozed off. His body gave up after hours of fear and tension. Kara stood slowly. She walked over to him. She watched him sleep. So easy. One move. One strike, but she didn't lift her hand. Instead, she covered him with a blanket that had fallen on the floor. She sat back down. And for the first time in many years, she let her eyes close. The sun on Dracor never rose fully. The sky stayed a dull gray, and the ground smelled like burnt metal. Jack Rayner stood outside his small ship, repairing a damaged sensor. His hands were black with oil, and a tool hung from his mouth. He looked tired, but focused. Inside the ship, Kara was watching him through the glass. She had not spoken much since last night, but her eyes never left him. This human. He was still confusing. He had no weapons, no armor, and yet he walked like he wasn't afraid of anything. Kara had seen men like that before. Most of them were dead. Now, she looked down at her wrists. The cuffs were broken. She was free now. She could leave, but she didn't. She could kill him. But she WOULD single quotes dud not yet. That, suddenly, a red light blinked on the ship's console. A sharp alarm rang. Jack dropped his tool and ran inside. Kara was already standing. What is it? She asked quickly. Jack looked at the blinking screen. His face turned pale. Trouble, he said. Big trouble. A signal was broadcasting through space. It was a bounty alert, and it showed Kara's face in red. Wanted, alive or dead. Reward, 50,000 credits. Someone placed a bounty? On you, Jack said. Galactic level. This isn't small time. Kara's face turned cold. My sister knows I'm alive, she whispered. Wait, your sister? Jack blinked. You have family? She's not family, Kara said. She's the reason I was sold. She took my throne. Jack stared at her. You're royalty? Kara looked away. I was, before betrayal. Before Jack could ask more, another alarm went off, louder this time. Incoming ship. Fast. No ID. Weapons armed. Jack slammed the console. They found us. The bounty hunters came. Fast and hard, their ship dropped from the clouds like a falling star. Black, silent, and armed with laser turrets. Jack and Kara ran for cover behind rocks outside the ship. Lasers struck the ground near them, turning sand to glass. They won't stop, Kara said. They're not here to arrest me? They're here to end me. And I guess I'm a bonus kill, Jack muttered. Kara turned to him. You should run. No chance, Jack said. This is my ship. My mess now too? Kara nodded once. The respect in her eyes was quiet but clear. Then fight beside me. Jack raised a tool that barely looked like a weapon. This is all I've got. Kara pulled a small knife from her boot, the only thing they didn't take when she was captured. Aim for the weak. I'll handle the rest. The bounty hunters landed. 3 of them stepped out, tall reptilian beings with armor and glowing eyes. One held a plasma cannon. Another carried an energy net. They moved like machines. Kara didn't wait. She exploded forward like a thunderstorm. One moment she was beside Jack, the next she was in the fight. Her body moved like water and fire. She slid under the first attacker's swing and slammed her elbow into his neck. A loud crack followed. The second hunter fired the net, but Jack, hiding behind a rock, threw his tool at the weapon's barrel. It missed, barely. But it was enough. Kara leapt into the air, flipped, and stabbed the third hunter right through his armor. Jack watched in shock. She wasn't just strong. She was perfect in battle. In less than 1 minute, it was over. 3 bodies lay on the ground. One groaned. The others didn't move. Kara stood over them, breathing heavy but steady. They were only scouts, she said. More will come. Jack stepped out, looking at the ship they came in. Then we steal their ship, he said. Yours is. Faster than mine, right? Kara looked surprised. You want to run? No, Jack said. I want to survive. And I think you do too. She stared at him. You're not a fighter. Why do you stay? Jack looked her in the eyes. Because you're not just a warrior, he said. You're a key to something bigger, and I think you know it. Kara looked at the dead bounty hunters, then at the stars above. If we leave Dracor, there's no turning back. Good, Jack said. I hate turning back. They loaded supplies, weapons, and gear into the new ship. Jack worked fast to reroute the security system. Kara took the pilot seat. Jack strapped in beside her. What now? He asked. Kara looked forward, her hands on the controls. Now, we find out who wants me dead. The ship lifted off. The ground, fire blazing behind them, as the dark sky of Dracor faded. A new light appeared. The stars were watching, and someone out there wanted them both gone. Asterisk, the stars outside the ship were quiet. Too quiet. Jack Rayner sat in the co-pilot seat, staring at the black screen in front of him. Nothing but cold space, no messages, no signals, no answers. Beside him, Kara sat still, her eyes fixed on the path ahead. Her warrior armor, what little remained, was torn, but her back stayed straight like a queen returning from war. They had escaped Dracor. They had stolen the hunter's ship, but they were not safe, far from it. Where are we going? Jack finally asked. Kara didn't blink. To a graveyard, she said. I was hoping for something less creepy, Jack muttered. It is not a real graveyard, she said. It's a place where things were left to die. A battlefield long ago. Jack frowned. What's there? Kara looked at him now, her face serious. Truth? The ship landed on a dead moon floating between two burned planets. No signs of life. No wind, no light, only the glow of broken machines half buried in black sand. The moon was littered with wrecked ships, smashed armor, and metal bones. A forgotten place from a forgotten war. Kara stepped out first, her boots crunching softly on the cold ground. Jack followed, coughing from the dry air. This place gives me chills, he said. It should, Kara replied. This is where I lost everything. They walked for some time until they reached a half-buried warship. Its frame was massive, but torn open like it had been ripped apart by a god. Kara ran her hand across the metal. Her eyes softened. This was my mother's ship, she whispered. Jack stayed silent. Kara stepped inside through a cracked panel. Dust and silence greeted them. She moved fast, like she knew every step by heart. They reached a dark control room at the heart of the ship. Kara pulled a hidden panel from the wall and reached inside. She took out a small cube, glowing faint blue. What is it? Jack asked. A memory core, Kara said, from before I was captured. Before my sister betrayed me. She pressed the cube. A hologram appeared. It showed a younger Kara standing beside a tall, older alien woman, her mother, a regal warrior with silver armor and fierce eyes. The voice in the message began, To the one who finds this, if you are Altherian by blood, then know this: our war was never lost, it was stolen. The council feared our strength. They feared my daughters. One of them turned against me. Kara's fists clenched. The message continued. There is a secret weapon hidden on Earth. A forgotten outpost. There, a signal waits. Only one with Altherian blood and a human hand can activate it. The hologram vanished. Silence returned. Jack blinked. Wait. Did she say Earth? Kara looked at him slowly. Yes, Jack shook his head. A secret weapon. Hidden on my planet? Not just a weapon, Kara said. Hope, my people were not destroyed. They were frozen, hidden. Jack's eyes widened. Are you saying Earth holds the key to waking them up? Kara nodded. But the council must never know. That's why the bounty is so high. That's why my sister wants me dead. She fears what I might unlock. Jack rubbed his face. Great, so we're carrying a war in our back pockets. Kara turned toward him, calm and steady. I need your help, Jack. Only a human can unlock the signal. Jack blinked at her. Why? Why me? Kara's voice was soft, but firm. Because Earth was part of the original alliance? Your people helped hide the outpost. You are more connected to this than you think. Outside, wind began to stir. Dust rose unnaturally. Jack stepped outside and looked up. A dark shape moved across the sky. Another ship. Not theirs. We've got company, he shouted. Kara was already moving. Not bounty hunters, worse. They rushed back to their ship. Kara powered the engines, Jack in the back rerouting shields. On the screen, the unknown ship hovered above the moon. Its mark was clear: council enforcement. They had been found. They traced the memory core, Kara hissed. We must leave now. The enemy ship fired. A blast shook the ground near them. Jack gritted his teeth. Fasten in! Kara pulled the ship up sharply. It roared through the dust, engines screaming, lasers chased them across the dead sky. One blast clipped the wing, alarms howled. We can't outrun them, Jack shouted. Kara's eyes narrowed. No, but we can disappear. She punched a set of codes into the console. Coordinates locked. Earth. Jack looked stunned. You're going to my home? We have no choice, Kara said. The secret is there, and so is our only chance. The stars twisted as the ship jumped to light speed. Behind them, the council ship fired one last time and missed Dot in the silence that followed. Jack stared out the window. His heart beat fast. Home was waiting, but so was war. The ship came out of light speed like a bullet through glass. Jack grabbed the armrest as the controls shook under his hands. Sparks flew from the dashboard. Smoke filled the air. "We're going down," he yelled. "Brace yourself." Kara didn't move. Her grip stayed firm on the flight stick. Outside the window, Earth was getting bigger. Fast. Blue oceans. Brown lands. White clouds. Home. But this wasn't a landing. It was a crash. The ship slammed into a forest on the edge of a mountain range. Trees cracked like bones. Dirt exploded into the air. The ship finally stopped, half buried in the ground, smoke rising. From the engines. Inside, Jack coughed hard, checking his limbs. Bruised but alive, Kara stood already, pulling Jack out from under a broken panel. "Still breathing?" she asked. Jack gave a tired grin. "Barely." They stepped outside. Birds scattered. The forest was quiet again. "Where are we?" Kara asked. Jack looked around. "Somewhere in Alaska, middle of nowhere, good place to hide." Kara checked the sky. "We don't have much time. The council will track us again." Jack nodded. "Then we need to get that signal online." They spent hours gathering parts from the broken ship. Kara handled weapons and scanning tech. Jack opened engine panels and rewired circuits. His hands moved fast. His eyes stayed focused. Kara watched him closely. He wasn't a soldier, but he had skill. His brain was a weapon of its own kind, quiet, clever, and always working. She admired that. Later, Jack opened a hidden compartment in the ship's core. Inside was a round black sphere with silver lines across it. Alien tech. "This is the trigger, right?" he asked. Kara stepped beside him. "Yes, it connects to the signal station. It only activates when both blood and code align." "Your blood," Jack said. "My code." Kara nodded. "Exactly." Jack stared at the sphere. "Why Earth?" he asked. "Why hide it here?" Kara looked at the trees around them, the soft wind, the quiet beauty. "Because Earth was forgotten. Your people became quiet, simple. The council believed it was safe, but they were wrong." "Yes," she said. "You were never weak, just hidden." Jack smiled at that. They worked through the night setting up a portable signal tower on the mountain peak. Kara stood watch while Jack calibrated the system. At one point, he looked up at her. "So, you were really a princess?" he asked. Kara didn't turn. "I was trained for war, not for crowns." "Still," Jack said, "that's a hell of a resume." She smirked slightly. "And you? A prince of machines?" Jack held up a scorched wire. "Prince of duct tape." The wind grew stronger. Storm clouds gathered. Kara sat near the fire as Jack continued working. "What will happen when the signal is sent?" he asked. "My people will wake," she said, "from stasis. From frozen time, they will rise. And the council?" Kara's face hardened. "They will bring fire," Jack thought for a moment. "So the moment we press this thing, we start a war." Kara nodded. "Yes." "Are you ready for that?" Kara looked at him, really looked. "I've been ready my whole life." Suddenly, a red light blinked on Jack's scanner. "Unidentified movement," he said. 12 kilometers fast. Kara stood. "They found us. Already?" "The memory core. It's like a beacon." They followed its trail. Jack grabbed the activation sphere. "We don't have time to wait." Kara drew her blade. "Then we finish what we started." They climbed to the tower platform. Jack placed the sphere into a slot he built himself made. From Earth parts, alien circuits, and pure desperation. Kara stood beside him, her palm hovering over a glowing panel. "Blood first," she said. She pressed her hand down. The panel lit up red. The machine hummed. "Now code," she said. Jack entered a sequence he had learned from the memory. Core 1 to 9702 1 alpha. The sphere pulsed. A low tone filled the air. Then, beam of light shot into the sky, straight through the clouds, straight into the stars. Kara closed her eyes. She could feel it. "They're waking," she whispered. "My people, they hear me." But the joy didn't last. A loud boom echoed through the forest. A black ship pierced through the clouds sleek. Sharp, deadly, Kara's face turned grim. "That's not bounty hunters," she said. "That's my sister." Jack's heart pounded. The war had arrived, and it had brought family. The black ship landed with fire and fury, trees bent under the heat. The mountain air turned sharp and dry. Jack Rayner covered his face as dust blasted across the hilltop beside him. Kara stood tall and moving. Her blade was drawn, her eyes fixed on the opening ramp of the enemy ship. "She's here?" Kara said. "Your sister?" Jack asked. "Yes." The ramp hissed. From the smoke stepped Commander Vela, Kara's older sister. She wore armor blacker than space, and her face was cold as ice. Her soldiers followed, silent, trained, and deadly, but none walked ahead of her. Vela didn't need protection. She was the danger. Her eyes met Kara's. A slow, mocking smile appeared on her lips. "Little sister," she said, "alive and still foolish." Kara didn't move. "You came yourself, afraid I might win?" "I came," Vela said, "because I wanted to see your eyes the moment you lose again." Jack stepped beside Kara. Unsure but ready, he held a plasma tool like a weapon. His hands trembled slightly. Vela noticed him. "And this is your new pet?" she sneered. "He's more loyal than you ever were," Kara replied. Vela's smile faded. "You always thought I was the traitor," she said. "But I did what needed to be done. Our people were too strong. The galaxy feared us. I made peace." "You made slaves," Kara snapped. "You sold our people for power." "And you would have led us into war," Vela said coldly. "A war we couldn't win. You never let us try." Suddenly, Vela raised her hand. Her soldiers took aim. "Step away from the signal tower," she ordered. Kara's stance tightened. "No." "Then you leave me no choice," Vela said. Jack's grip tightened on the tool. "You'll have to kill both of us." Vela gave a small laugh. That was the plan. She motioned. The soldiers fired. Kara moved like lightning. She pulled. Jack behind a steel panel as lasers hit the tower. Metal exploded. The beam of light flickered but held. Kara dashed forward, her blade cutting through the air. 2 soldiers dropped in seconds. Jack scrambled behind her, using tools to disable weapons, trip feet, and blind sensors. He wasn't a fighter, but he was clever. And clever was enough. Kara met Vela at the center of the battlefield. Sister versus sister, blood versus blood. They circled each other like lions. "You were always faster," Vela said, drawing her twin blades. "You were always colder," Kara replied. They clashed. Steel sang. Sparks flew. Each strike was a memory. Each block was a scar. Jack watched, breath caught, as the 2 warrior queens fought under the rising storm. Kara was stronger, but Vela was precise. Every move had purpose. The ground shook beneath them. A strike. A counter. Then a blade sank into flesh. Jack's heart stopped. Kara stood, gasping, but it wasn't her. Vela's arm hung limp, cut deep. Kara stepped back, her blade still glowing. "It's over," she said. Vela dropped to her knees, but her face remained proud. "You think this ends with me?" she whispered. "You've started something you cannot control." Kara pointed her blade at her sister. "I've started what you were too afraid to finish." Vela looked past her at Jack, and then, with her last bit of strength, she pulled a hidden blaster from her boot and fired. The shot hit Jack in the chest. He flew backward, crashing into the tower wall. Kara screamed, a sound not heard in 1,000 years. She rushed to him, leaving her sister broken in the dust. Jack's shirt was soaked in blood. His breathing was shallow. His hand trembled as he reached for her. "Still alive?" he whispered, forcing a smile. Kara held his face. "Stay with me." "I'm not going anywhere," he whispered. "You're too scary." Tears touched Kara's eyes. A warrior, a killer. Now crying, she looked at the tower. The beam was still glowing. The signal was sent, but Jack was fading. "No," she whispered. "I won't lose you." She reached into her armor and pulled out a shard of ancient Altherian crystal, one she had kept hidden all this time. She placed it over Jack's heart. The crystal pulsed, then melted into his skin. Jack's eyes went wide. His body convulsed. Kara held him tightly as blue light surged through his veins. Then, stillness. Silence. His chest rose and fell. He was breathing. Alive. Barely. Kara looked down at him. "You stubborn human," she whispered. "You were never just a mechanic." Jack's lips moved. "Did we win?" Kara smiled through tears. "Not yet. But you gave us a chance." Behind them, Vela's ship powered down. Her soldiers fled. The tower stood glowing, bright as a star, and above, deep in space, something ancient had awakened. Millions of frozen warriors, slowly beginning to stir. The stars had changed. Somewhere in the far reaches of space, hidden ships stirred. Engines hummed for the first time in centuries. Frozen pods hissed open. Warriors from a forgotten age opened their eyes. The Altherian people were waking, and it had all started with one human mechanic and one fearless warrior. Jack Rayner opened his eyes slowly. Bright light. Sharp pain. A familiar voice. "You're awake," Kara said. Jack blinked. His chest burned, but he was alive. "Did we win?" he asked, voice dry. Kara smiled softly. "Not yet. But we're not running anymore." Jack sat up slowly. The air was cold, but calm. They were still on Earth high in the mountains. The sky was clear, and the tower still stood. Glowing faint blue, Vela's ship was gone. Her soldiers had fled after her defeat. For now, there was peace, but it wouldn't last. Kara stood near the edge of the hill, her arms crossed. Her armor was scratched, her blade stained, but her posture was strong as ever. Jack joined her, breathing carefully. "So," he said, "what happens now?" She turned to him. "The signal woke the Altherian fleet, but they are far scattered. It will take time for them to arrive." "And the council?" Jack asked. "They will come first," she said, with fire. Jack looked at the horizon. "Then we need to be ready." The days that followed were quiet but full of work. Jack repaired the broken ship using parts from Vela's crash site. Kara helped him build new defenses around the signal tower. She trained him daily hand-to-hand, weapon drills, survival techniques. He wasn't fast, he wasn't strong, but Jack didn't give up, and Kara, she started to believe in something she never had before. Kalan hope. One night, as they sat near a small fire, Jack looked at her seriously. "Why me?" he asked. "Out of all the people, why trust me?" Kara stared into the flames. "You didn't see me as a weapon or a prize. You saw me as something more." She looked up at him. "You made me feel human," Jack chuckled. "Funny, you made me feel powerful." They both smiled. No more walls between them. No more fear. Just trust. And something even deeper. The next morning, the warning came. A dark shadow crossed the sky. 3 Council warships entered Earth's orbit. Their signal echoed through every channel. "Surrender the outlaw. Disable the tower, or Earth will burn." Jack's face hardened. "They're serious." Kara nodded. "They're afraid. That means we're winning. Can we hold them off?" She paused. "No, not alone." Then a sound filled the sky, a deep humming like thunder. Jack looked up. "What is that?" Kara stepped outside the cave, eyes wide. In the clouds above, new ships were arriving. Not council. Not human. Altherion. They had come. Hundreds of glowing vessels formed the wall in the sky, sleek, beautiful, deadly, and silent like ghosts from a legend. Jack stared, jaw dropped. "They actually came." Kara's voice was soft. "They never forgot me." The council ships tried to run. Too late. Altherian ships surrounded them. Weapons lit the sky, but not a single shot hit Earth. Within minutes, their council fleet was disabled. No death. No blood. Just justice. The war hadn't started because the enemy surrendered. Later, Kara stood on the highest peak. Her people, kneeling before her, they called her the Returned. She raised her hand and silence spread. "We do not rule with fear," she said. "We do not burn the weak. We protect. We rise. Together." Her people shouted her name in unity. Jack watched. From a distance, smiling, he had changed the galaxy. By simply believing in someone everyone else feared. As the ships prepared to leave Earth, Kara found Jack standing alone near the broken tower. You could come with me, she said. Jack looked at the stars. And leave Earth? You've already outgrown it, she said. You're more than a mechanic now. Jack smiled. Maybe, but Earth still needs me, he paused. You go. Lead your people, rewrite your future. Kara stepped closer. And you? What will you do? Jack looked around at the trees, the wind, the mountains. I'll build. I'll teach. And if anyone comes to hurt this planet again? He held up a plasma tool with a grin. They'll find I've learned a few tricks. Kara laughed softly. Then this is not goodbye. No, Jack said. Just see you soon. She placed her forehead against his, the Altharian way of honor. And she turned. And rose into the stars. One human. One warrior. One chance. Rewritten. And the galaxy would never be the same again.